All right, so we're going to continue just to look on this side here real fast while I try to diagnose here and make sure that everything's going all right here with the stream. But let's keep an eye on these tanks now, as it looks like we have lost a 76 here for EXO, but still leaves 2 of their 76s up here on the northern side. With that, Doug's and Guns here trying to salvage and repair his tank from this backside. It's like Exodus is starting to spawn in another 76 here on this northern side. All right, and with that, the EXO push does appear to have been stalled out a little bit here, as Legion has devoted a few more bodies here to the northern side. So my apologies for the stream here, as it does appear that maybe I did not get the things out there that you guys needed here. So hopefully we're getting a little bit of sound now. All right, so thank you very much for your patience, guys, as we look to try to get this figured out. One of these days I'll get a stream that actually ends up doing exactly what it's supposed to. All right, so Exo's form has been able to, their front line has been able to reform here, and they have been able to get the people back up into the point. So with that, it appears that they are pretty strongly secured on the ruins front, and so those pushes that Legion was able to get through do look like they've kind of fizzled out, as they now have been pushed back over the east side of that main road going from north to south, and are back over the middle hard cap area of town center area. that sounds like we might have a Legion bombing run that's coming in over that northern side, very much so. And unfortunately, it does not look like it's hit any garrisons here at the moment. Now, just as quick as we thought it was coming in here, it looks like Legion is starting to get some cap pressure here onto Ruins. Let's see where we're looking to see him come in. So Perseus here on this back side, and we have bodies here on the southern portion of the cap. They look like they're just starting to push in there, but I can't see where the majority of this Legion push was coming in to be able to get some type of pressure. And it just looks like Exodus may have been able to push enough bodies off of the cap, but the few bodies that Legion did have in there were able to overpower it. So here we are nearing the halfway point at 45. We are still dealing with a 33-2 Legion lead over the middle cap here of Canal Center. So I appreciate you guys joining in here on this Saturday night. Sometimes it's a Sunday morning for some of you guys around the world, as we see these two behemoths launch and just try to battle it out here over the Carentan Canal crossing. Again, I am new here to the streaming side, just trying to give you as best of a quality stream as possible. But I apologize for the small technical difficulties that it sounds like there may have been as we have worked to try to get some sound here for you guys. Just looking here over the southern edge here of Carentan Canal crossing here, Exodus has been able to continue to hold that line here and pushed Legion into more of a concentrated line. So right now we do just have that good back and forth stroll and push and battle coming from both sides here. Now Exo is having a hard time launching garrisons, or sorry, not garrisons, but their outposts here a little bit far, as they are still hanging out around this middle ground here of the road. And are unable to push them with the exception of cap guns here right there. Stroll and Lucas just about to square off in battle here, but a cheeky little Belgian gatekeeper from the Legion side able to give Stroll the advantage there to be able to get the angle and get the kill there. So with this, we just want to keep a look over that macro view and kind of see how those front lines continue to develop for both the Legion and the Exo sides. As Legion continues to just keep pounding here, Exodus does continue to get some more and more bodies here forward. We do have 2 tanks here showing forward the Legion side off of this flare. So let's go ahead and take a quick look down here and see what we are working with. As they're just here on the northern side. So cool, all by his lonesome here in a medium. Qonzer looks like just fighting for his life. And the Tiger here crewed by being repaired here by Dunny in Maryland here. Mini Fiji also coming up from the backside just to continue to provide support for those heavy tanks as we do start to see some cap pressure come in for Legion. So we'll go ahead and take a peek in that and see where it's sitting here in just a few moments. But Dunny now able to fully repair that tank. His crew is able to push up and try to get an angle on this 76 here to the north. Just inching ever so slightly here, trying to get an angle on him as the first shot goes to the Tiger, to the 76, and they trade blows with both of them stepping back. Well, actually, it looks like the Tiger is able to step back, but I don't know if this 76 is able to do the same. But he's got 3 rep stations going on right behind him, so he's got a whole factory of little hamsters behind him repairing him. So Raider definitely having the advantage here when it comes to the armor's protection side of things. Dunny just trying to fight for his life and continue to repair the armor of this tank back here. Let's fly on over and see how this Legion cap progress is going here, though. As Legion has been able to get ground here on the southern side. So continuing to watch this push here from both the Legion side and the Exo side as they're continuing to try to just defend themselves here. Huge Anus has been able to pop his way here into the soft cap sector, but able to avoid running into Berkeley due to that wonderful courtyard wall that we all love right here. The trap of so many public blueberry matches here. They all just jump on in here and don't know to build things or get stuff up to help them get over the walls. So Huge Anus able just to continue to hold that ground as he waits for more and more Legion players to come on back up into the circle here for him. With that, it does look like the Legion push has been able to kind of be stomped out again, so Exo responding very well to get back onto Ruins. So with that, EXO does have a pretty good line showing up here off of the spawns that they have up here to the northern side. And it looks like we may have had a precision strike come in and be able to take out Tunny here. So that is a Tunny and his crew here. Tunny's still alive to tell the story. But with that, EXO is starting to get some gap pressure here onto Canal Crossing. So look at this, a very quick turn of events here for EXO as they have now started to get that cap pressure here. So no doubt Legion calling a good number of people back. And oh boy, things are just breaking through here on the northern side for EXO. Let's see how this continues to develop as EXO now is able to push Legion all the way back to that initial hedge and into the area of canals as Tunny finally has been able to go, has gone down. Typhoon here all by himself trying to anchor his OP. SFH just working to try to get some pressure here and work to try to get his teammates up here into the cap sector with him. Typhoon just holding down as SFH, hearing those shots, gets perked up a little bit here. Let's see if SFH is able to push around and get that small angle that he needs on Typhoon. Portseeker unaware of what's going on just north of his position. SFH is able to get around and takes out that OP and Typhoon. So good work on SFH to be able to get down in here and take out those that push there. Or that anchor here for the Legion side. So EXO's still continuing to flood bodies here into the northern side. They have been able to regain some ground here in the south, as Legion has kind of sucked back a little bit to be able to defend their point a little bit here. So as we move towards the last 30 minutes of this match, it looks like we're still pretty well locked up in that 2-3 battle right now, with Legion having the edge here over Exodus. But EXO definitely making some progress and making things exciting here as they have just recently gotten some pressure here onto the middle canal crossing point. Taking a quick look back over here. It's been a while since we've looked at it, so let's go ahead and take a look and see where our map's sitting here on the overall garrison placement. So as we can see, Exodus has been able to reform their line very strongly over that DE column. One garrison to the north, one just south, that's able to continue facilitating bodies and pushes here into that northern portion. Also being able to control the southern portion right in front of ruins has been big for them as well, as Legion is continuing to flood bodies. We do see a garrison going up warm and being locked out in the Charlie 4 sector, right by this medium tank that is going to be going on by, but that garrison is taken out by Legion players here on the backside as Mac and Perseus have been able to make their way up here and take that out. Crazy Assassin trying to respond to the threat though, as Banksy probably doesn't want to show in this, but he looks like he has gotten himself into a good little spot here, as they probably use that medic helping hand to be able to get Banksy up here onto the roof with a very strong sightline here over this northern portion. So very good placement, very good prep from both sides here to know about, or from Banksy there and both sides in general. Little do a lot of people that are not familiar with the competition side know that these teams will put hours and hours of prep into both of these matches. So if you think like a football team, as they go and they study film of the opposing team, try to prep some game plans and schemes to try to counteract the other team, well, that's essentially what these teams end up doing week in and week out. So for a lot of these guys, it's not just simply a show up and play for 90 minutes. But that 90 minutes is a culmination of a lot of prep work done on the backside. For us older guys that aren't necessarily in school anymore, I guess you could kind of say that is kind of like our homework that we do in the evenings and during the days here as we prep for these matches, because the competition side is a whole lot of fun, but it's much funner even when you're able to go ahead, hop into some servers with your friends and just play around, figure out all the weird spots you can get up into, all the weird AT locations AT gun locations. It really is just a lot of fun as we start to see some cap progress coming here for EXO. So riding out 2 tanks to the north, Greyhound and a heavy, and then riding out with a medium Sherman and a heavy 76 down here on the southern edge. Exodus has just been able to ride some of this momentum here to be able to start getting some cap progress as Legion is calling people back. Now looking at the map, it looks like Legion continues to be able to push some people down in here into the town center sector, but EXO is starting to, or is continuing just to flood bodies here into this northern cap. Portion of the soft cap, sorry, northern portion of the south part of hard cap. Oh, I'm just putting us all in a loop here, so I apologize for the confusion there. But we've got one medium tank here that's been able to find their way up into the, just outside the hard cap sector. Cardi is the only person behind it as they continue to take out ET guns and just be a menace, trying to push up. Let's take a look and see if we can see where any of these Legion tanks might be. And just see where their momentum might be riding here in the sector. So I do not currently see any here north of the hard cap sign. As Exos continuing to make some progress, it's starting to teeter back and forth, but Legion does appear to have some bodies back there in ruins as well. So we're going to keep looking at that little ticker bar and just see where those might be coming from as a bombing run comes here for Commander Cloth. Able to take out 1, 2, looks like 2 Legion infantrymen. We've got 1 tank sitting here for Legion, crewed by Maryland and his squad. Just trying to hold off that offensive here in the northern portion. So they don't know it, but I mean, they do know the tanks are up there, but they don't quite know what they're facing when it comes to that Greyhound and that 76 to the northern portion. Now that medium tank that did decide to push on up into the soft cap sector here just outside of hard cap for Exodus has gone down. But it looks like they have been able to get another heavy tank up, so most likely they might have been told by Commander Cloth to go ahead and just see what damage they could do moving into the hard cap sector, and went back to get that heavy and make it join the fight. So EXO continues to flood bodies up here into the northern portion. And the Legion just continues to dig their heels in. Legion getting an AT gun up, looking to try to find where these tanks are. As Mr. Brightside's on the outside of that tank, just trying to do what he can to repair it, make sure it stays in the fight as they continue to wait on this 76 that's coming up in the backside here to join in. Right now, Exodus has 2 heavy tanks here on the push, soon to be a 3rd. But Legion slowly continuing just to grind these guys out, as now it looks like they are starting to gain a pretty good foothold over the southern portion of the canal. So we are sitting about 8 minutes out before another bombing run from the Exodus side can come through and try to help clear another path for these guys to come on through. So just as we pass the 1 hour mark here in this match, we have seen movement from both sides here. So Legion getting the initial cap over Canal Crossing and starting very quickly to be able to put some pressure on Ruins, has now kind of found their way back into a middle ground area here against Exodus, as Exodus continues to push bodies and are definitely on the offensive side right now. It appears that Legion does have some bodies down in the town center of the Carentan area that are looking to try to move bodies to the ruins sector. But Exo continuing just to grind out and just continue to push these Legion defenders back. Trying to gain what type of ground they can on the defending Summit champions here. Let's go ahead. We're going to zoom in and see if we can get some good angles here at some of the engagements that are going on here in the south. As Dunny moving up with this STG class. Hearing this 76 floating around up here. Couple rows back, but no doubt trying to see what damage he can do as Chili continues to look to defend at 76. Let's take a look and see what he is looking at. So we've seen excellent work from both supporting squads here to be able to get repair stations up for both of their tanks crews. So very good work on both sides to be able to get responses to their tanks. This is something that normally will define what those Division 1, Division 2 teams can do over some of those lower level teams and their support that they give to their armor. Allowing their armor to kind of hang back, make sure that they can clear out any threats in front of them, and just continue to try to get them pushing forward. And unfortunately, it looks like that rep station may have just been taken out from across the river there. But good work still, nonetheless, to be able to look to get that up. As we see an Exo bombing run coming through, able to take out the Garrison on the south side of Canal here in D4. But luckily, it doesn't appear much more damage was done. So with that, Exo should be able to get that Garrison quickly back up. As the Exo push onto the 76, trying just to eliminate what they can, as the tank just tries to stay alive and do whatever he can to support his infantry squad mates. Now we do have an Exo airhead coming in, so we're going to look to probably see Exo start really overloading this northern side, as now they have 2 heavy tanks and a Stewart trying to push through. Let's take a look and see if that AT gun here for Legion is still up. It looks like it is. Mr. Lucratives here manning it, trying to get an eye on where these tanks are going to peek out from behind these edges. Again, my apologies. My output sources weren't there, but happy to see that it looks like they might be working now. So fingers crossed that you guys are able to hear it. That's one of the hard things about casting these things on a 30-minute delay, is that if there's a problem, it's at least 30 minutes before I can look to get that figured out for you guys and fixed. So far in the TPL budget, we're working to try to get more and more bodies to have a full studio production crew to know exactly when those things go off. But until then, unfortunately, you're stuck with just me and me alone. And with me being new to the streaming side, man, I tell you, there are definitely some hurdles to try to overcome as we try to bring these matchups to you guys every week. I personally enjoy having my matches casted, and I know many of you guys do as well, and so I strive to do what I can to make it as good as possible for you. But sometimes computers and the technology world have different things in mind, as the Stewart tank is just making havoc up here against the Legion crew as they took out one AT gun, continuing to move around, continues to take out some bad guys here on the Legion side. I'm pretty sure they're not bad guys, but they're bad guy in the game. Probably are good guys, not bad guys. Yeah, you catch my drift. But Mr. Lucrative's able to get a rocket on the front side of that Stewart, eliminating him from the competition. And with that, we say adieu. Another 76 looks like it's coming out of that top HQ here for our Exodus Fun crew here. And it looks like that airhead has been eliminated and no longer spawning here for the Exodus crew. Okay, so we can at least zoom in. That's at least a positive. Legion again fighting up here over this northern portion very well, able to hold off these triple stain stack that Exodus was able to kind of push on through. All right. So as we near the 20-minute mark here, we're going to be getting in a position where Exodus is going to try to continue riding out this pressure as they now control all of the roads here into the church sector. As Fubar Goods looking to try to get an angle on Phantom here, but Phantom able to take him out. Lukewarm Wigga coming up on the backside here. Phantom is turned around and eliminated though at this time. So let's get a look here. Oh, Caster's Curse, my bad. Divinity with an excellent quick scope though to take him out. Let's go ahead and take a peek and see what Divinity is seeing through this side here. So we're going to go handy dancy laser pointer because our weapons don't want to load on in. But Divinity comes with a reputation of being pretty good behind those scoped weapons. So able to kind of control this whole bottom alleyway here. Trying to do what he can to stem this Exodus tide that's pushing on through. Taking out Zin, good work from Divinity to push on in through as he knows people keep spawning from this area. Trying to find an advantageous angle for himself. So we'll let Divinity go ahead and keep on his way and try to prevent that Caster Curse from coming in and taking him out. But with that, we see a flicker over here on Canal Crossing. So 20 minutes left. Exo continuing to ride this momentum out. Looks like now down to 176 as it appears Commander Koloff may have asked for a triple stack up here in the north. As we see our 76 here holding off in this bottom position for Spectre and his crew. We have one medium Sherman coming up on this backside as well. JPL appears to be swimming, but let's zoom on in to see exactly what's going on over here. Making his way slowly through the canal, JPL trying to get an angle on these Exodus players that are here on the backside. And with this, JPL knowing enemies are on the other side of this wall here, just trying to do what he can to stay silent until his opportunity to attack comes. Chili, though, pushing right on up here. Drugs, not jumping that second wall, probably saved his life here until JPL was pushed down a little bit farther. So Drugs with the quick turnaround and some wonderful rockets coming in here from the Exodus, or sorry, from the Legion side. Not quite sure who's sending those up, but very good work to try to get some angles over here on this 76 here for the Exo side. Mac getting from the backside here, trying to take out Dr. Beam Monkey as he looks to support his 76 here on this northern side. So let's take a look and see what Beam Monkey's kind of looking at and dealing with on his backside. And with that, Legion players are up to the north. I apologize for the quick thumbstick movements here, guys, as we are trying to get close in on all the action for you. But knowing this 76 is just taking a beating here from the AT of the Legion squads. Mr. Keystone's up here in this 3-story. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what he's working with. So here on the caster side, we do get the advantage of knowing where all of these bad guys are. But here, for Keystone, you can kind of see that he just sees this one little friendly in this friendly tank right there. But to everything else, he is left up to his laser eagle eye vision that he needs to have, or that all those MG players develop. Part of their basic training. That's a steady trigger finger and that eagle vision to be able to see 500 meters away. It serves them well. So here in this dynamic view that we're looking at, brought to you by Chick-fil-A, remember to go get your sandwiches here before Chick-fil-A does end up closing, because you will not be able to get them tomorrow. So enjoy all of those frosted lemonades and wonderful Chick-fil-A sauce on your burgers. Not burgers, sorry, sandwiches, before it is gone for the weekend. With this, Legion has been able to get a very good strong here, push back over this northern side, gaining full control back over north of Canal, with a few Exodus players able to hold on for their lives, but it's just a matter of time, unfortunately, probably until they are eliminated, as Frosty Sauce and Demon Hunter try to embrace their inner Huntrix and remove the Demon's Purge from the northern portion of their canal. Looking here south, that 76 has been now removed from the play, being taken out. Looks like, most likely, it sounded sure like a tank, but I wasn't able to see exactly where that was. So very good work from the armor crews, or AT crews here for the Legion side, to continue to force their way back and remove that Exodus 76 here from that northern portion. Mac making sure that no repair station is left alive, on a mission to take out as many repair stations as possible. Now, we do have an EXO bombing run that is going to be coming in right across this southern side of the canal. So let's go ahead, we'll follow it in and see what we are able to see when it comes to these Legion players and their being removed. So right there we get one and one friendly. So we are 1-1 right now. Wild Bill, no doubt seeing that come his way, able to dodge it, get out of the way. So with that one Exodus player removed from the game with that bombing run, as Wild Bill is eliminated through other light infantry means. All right, as we near the final 15 minutes here, Exodus trying to get back into this middle canal crossing point to get that tick into the win column here against this Legion squad that has come out swinging from the get-go. With the initial cap on canal crossing and finding themselves with strong momentum to push down into the ruins cap sector, we're able to get just probably about a third, maybe two-thirds, not quite two-thirds of the way capped onto it, but just before halfway, before Exodus was able to respond and get bodies back onto that point to control the cap. And so since that point, Exodus has been able to mount a few pushes to get back into the canal crossing sector, but all of those seem to have fizzled out, and now we are back to our front line battles, embracing our inner World War I fights here, as that front line continues to try to plow up through. Doc getting some shots, trying to get an angle on Lucas. He does take out the OP, doing something, running around. Lucas and Doc both are eliminated by a third-party Nightshade coming to take that clean and that trade, that cleanup in that trade. So good work on Nightshade supporting his teammate there. Are able to at least get the trade here, and it looks like getting a few bodies moving back up into that middle sector. So we have a Legion bombing run coming in here from the north, taking out a couple enemy players here from the Exo side, but the Exodus Garrison remains up. Frosty Sauce Demon Hunter, Southpaw, and Eagles all controlling that top map edge, working their way towards this southern, or towards this northern garrison here for Exo. As the 76 runs for its life to try to get out of that. All right, so we appreciate you guys again coming and joining us here on this Saturday evening, Sunday morning for some of you, as we are in week 1 of Division 1 here in the TPL Season 2. Again, I'm your host, Night Falcon, your caster here. Trying to learn from many casters that have come before me to provide you with the utmost content here for Hell Let Loose, the Hell Let Loose competitive scene here on console. We all know how much of an addictive pill this thing is and how much fun it really is, but how frustrating it can be all at the same time. Mini Fiji, though, working his way up with with that assault class, with that satchel. Let's take a look and see if he is able to get around as Vengeance has moved south. With his scoped weapon, though, is he going to take out Mini Fiji? He does. Mini Fiji unable to get to that Stewart tank. The Legion, though, coming in, getting some cap pressure on Ruin, so let's not count this 4-1 out quite yet here for this Legion squad. K's trying to find in where these enemies were coming through, but it looks like that push may have been eliminated. As Fetal OnlyFans is the only Legion player here in this backside. May have been removed by Commander, Fatal OnlyFans right here in his supply truck. Let's see, did he get a Garrison up? He sure did, right up in here in this backside for Legion. So Legion looking to take that advantageous spawn here to try to get some type of backside pressure and just keep Exodus off of that front door push towards Canal Crossing. So an extra fun, exciting 11 minutes here coming up as we move towards the final portion of this match. More Legion supplies dropping just into the hard cap sector. Now, as we're prepping for the final 10 minutes here, Exodus probably has one more decent little push here. We saw that bombing run come in about 5-6 minutes ago along that southern portion of the canal. So keep that in mind, that the Commander Clough will have that most likely in his back pocket. Currently does have encouraged on building up those resources. So with the 301 manpower, might be able to see some type of airhead bombing run combo that has become so prevalent here in the competitive scene as kind of that final Hail Mary attempt to try to get some type of pressure here and get that canal crossing point. M Squad appears to have snuck their way around here. I'm just interested to see if Lieutenant Cream has been able to take that Garrison out. It looks like he is moving right up into it. Does see it on top of it and looks to be taking that out. So good work on the defensive side here for Exodus to be able to catch that whammo Garrison that was put up right behind him and prevent any type of backside that was coming through. However, we do know that he was in a supply truck here. And most likely there has been some type of Garrison put back up here on this northern side of the hard cap for Legion. So we're going to keep an eye on that, see if that continues to develop, because that might be a dead supply truck right there, which it is a supply truck, but we don't know if that was the one that got blown up here as this friendly Exodus medium Sherman is pushed up into the point here. 9 minutes remaining here. Exodus recon plane going up over the point. Let's see what kind of intel they're able to get from that as Ghost. Looking to try to get an angle on things. Doc taking him out. Going to wipe his OP as well, as it's just on the other side of that building there. And there it goes. Legion still staying strong. Continuing just to hold that front line against Exo as they continue to try to push on in. Fid getting a good angle down this line and was able to take a couple guys out, but it looks like his machine gunning days are now behind him until he's able to spawn back in. We do have a Greyhound here for the Exodus side that's making its way up through the point. Port Seeker, no doubt, claiming or yelling to his officers to relay into command chat that this Greyhound is coming around the scope here, trying to clear out potentially any garrisons that Exodus or Legion may have on this backside. Flares continue to pop up here for the Exodus crew as they try to push back towards the point. Showing a clear flare allows their guys to go ahead and move back up on into the point area, knowing that it is safe to do so for the time being. Continue to watch this Greyhound move up this backside as another 76 is spawned in on the North HQ here for the Exodus crew. Looks like Greyhound was able to eliminate a garrison here. No other reason why it would have been spawning or ringing and sounding off here on the backside. Hearing the damage and the danger behind him, the Tiger tank is able to get around. Precision strike missing though as Tunney makes the quick 360, so unfortunately that Greyhound just causing a little bit of chaos enough to prevent those that precision strike from landing home. It did get that with oh wait, scratch that. Precision strike has now come in, eliminating one of those Tiger tanks. So very good shot here from Commander Clough as one of those two tanks in the middle of hard cap here for Legion has been eliminated, leaving Tunney and his crew, the own solo 76, or not 76, Tiger tank here on the back line here to continue holding that line. Now, Exo is starting to mount some type of push here. Legion also is getting some cap pressure here. So right now we are starting to see movement as a Legion airhead does appear to be coming into the background here. Let's go ahead and keep an eye on where this is going. So we have a lot of good, exciting things happening here, as Exodus does have enough right now for an airhead of their own. But let's see if this airhead is going to end up landing, or if Commander Clough, seeing it come in, is going to be able to take advantage of this situation and remove it. Nope. Unfortunately, that appears that it is going to go on the backside. Fubar Goods, most likely the only Exodus player to have seen that come down, or at least be the only person responding to it, is Clough, Lieutenant Cream, and Fubar Goods, all trying to find what they can. Fatal Only fans, though, trying to hold the line here, unfortunately is going to need to get fire off some shots, but we might get a Legion spawn here as Lieutenant Cream comes around the corner. Oh, it is taken out. Fatal mocking him with the shovel, and we do have a spawn off of the Legion airhead as cap pressure is coming in, catching bodies on the front side here for the Exodus crew. Now, for Commander Koloff, you're definitely in a position here where you're trying to figure out how many bodies do I keep moving forward and how many bodies do I keep trying to move back to defend that point here, as we now have 3 minutes and 15 seconds for some type of pressure to be put back on. Scooby Suka trying to get back in here, get this airhead taken out, which he is unable to do. Oh, Perseus with a massive play to save that airhead as Matty Ice is able to get a spawn off as it was locked out from Scooby. Fatal Only fans now moving to get this garrison taken out on the southern side here for Exodus, leaving Exodus without any spawns here around the area of ruins. So this is not a good situation for Exodus to be able to try to continue launching towards, and looks like that call has now gone out as we start to see more and more Exodus players trying to pull back in. But Legion, knowing that they have the advantage here, are now flooding bodies into this airhead that just continues to spawn people into ruins here, which could bring us here into a 4-1 cap, as Legion now is continuing to flood bodies and get them into the hard cap sector to make it even more difficult for the Exodus team to get cap progress back on. Southpaw back here, able to defend as Perseus tries to get an angle on Cheeks but does not eliminate him. Garrison spawn coming in though for Exodus. Fubar Goods trying just to get into hard cap, as a reinforce is still available here for the Exodus side. But most likely they would not have wanted to use that for what for the reason of the reinforce, but unfortunately, given the current status of the game, that Legion airhead coming in from the backside, proving to come in clutch as cap progress nearing the 50% mark. Airhead continues to spawn as Exodus artillery has started to come in. And either the Exodus artillery was able to get that, or it was timed out. It very well could have timed out now as Lieutenant Cream takes out Natty Ice. Now 2/3 of the way capped back here on Ruins. Very strongly in the hands here of the Legion squad. Nearing 3/4 of the way capped here. Legion appears to be well on the way here for making it to the 4-1 lead at the moment. As we near the final 2 minutes, 45 seconds. Exo able to get enough bodies back there with the reinforce currently down. 4-1 is not out of the option yet, though, as Legion needs may potentially continue to flood bodies here into the cap off of some OPs here on the northern presence. But it looks like with the help of the reinforce, Exodus is going to be able to push that cap progress back towards their friendly line here on Ruins. But with that, the entire push that Exodus had in the the E3 and the E4 column has been eliminated. And just like that, we unfortunately will not probably see another push be able to come through. And Legion is going to be able to hold on for at least the 3-2 victory. Is it going to be a 4-1 victory, though, as cap progress still is there, looking about the 1/4 mark. So they need to turn around here within the next couple seconds to have any chance, and unfortunately it does not appear that it is going to be that. But a 3-2 battle nonetheless, a great battle here on week 1 of Division 1, the second season of TPL, between these two Division 1 behemoths. Very good battle there, both teams fighting back and forth, cap progress coming up from both sides. So as we do a quick closing recap, we know Legion got in the initial cap, and from that point were able to hold Canal Crossing for the entire 90 minutes of this match. Both squads were able to get cap progress onto the other team's respective points, but unfortunately neither were able to get that final little bit that they needed to get up over the edge there. Now, Legion did come the closest at 3/4 of the way capped onto that point, but nonetheless, we are going to finish out with a 2-3 or a 3-2 victory here for the Legion squad. Appreciate you guys all joining us. This is no doubt going to be a great season here of TPL. Invite you to come back as we, in 2 weeks, will be able to play here against, see these teams back in action as they try to continue on towards that TPL crown. So very good work, very good prep work from both teams, and it's just a slugfest, and that's exactly what we wanted as the fans. So thank you guys very much for joining me this evening, and we will look to just give our quick commendation here, and congratulations to the Legion squad as they now have won it 2-3 over Canal Crossing here on the Exo side. For motivating his troops, we're going to go ahead and give our big MVP commendation to Koloff on that command side, able to continue pushing people through and just doing everything that they can to give their guys a fighting chance towards the end. Had it not been for that Legion airhead, I think we would have been able to see some fireworks on that northern side. But Legion able to ride the momentum and take that portion out. Very good work, good play from everybody, and very excited to see the next iteration of these two teams. Okay. And with that, we will let you guys now go on back to the rest of your day.